Good afternoon, YouTube. In this episode, we're going to be asking the question, is this coronavirus a biological weapon unleashed upon us by China because they're upset with Trump? And, uh, oh, by the way, this is Corona World. This is this is the world that I started to create, you know, because of the quarantine. All right, so back to the question of the day. Okay, and this is just my opinion. The answer is no. I do not believe that this is some sort of biological weapon unleashed against us. And let me tell you why. Well, first of all, um, what would the Chinese gain by unleashing this? You know, um, more of them are going to die than us. Okay, and it's not like we can't figure out where it came from because we have. Apparently, this whole thing came from some university lab that was studying the SARS virus and the coronavirus and other bat-type viruses in Wuhan, the University of Wuhan, and somehow it got out. Okay. Oh, by the way, check this out. See, what I'm doing is I'm building a fortress wall around the village, and then I'm building newer, better houses for villagers because they're just too small. Anyway, so you know, so that's a reason there is we already know where it came from. And another thing is that if this thing were a biological weapon, it'd be awfully weak. Okay, the only thing that makes this thing obnoxious is that it's very contagious, uh, which is something you want in a biological weapon. Okay, but less than 1% of the people infected die, which makes it lame. If you got a biological weapon, you want two things. You want it to be very contagious, and you want the freaking kill rate of like 20-30%. Okay. Also, you want the vaccine for it, so you don't kill your own people. Okay. So there's that. Okay. The fact that I think that this as a biological weapon is a pretty lame weapon. And two, it's like they're not getting anything out of this. Okay. In fact, the Chinese are going to come out of this pretty screwed. Okay. Um, they're certainly not getting any concessions. Okay. In fact, they're going to lose half of their business with the United States. Right now, the Chinese are doing about $500 billion worth of business with the United States. When this is all over, I suspect that that amount of business is going to be cut in half. I already know that the president is getting ready to sign an executive order that will um, order. What's up, big guy? Order the pharmaceutical companies to bring all their manufacturing back to the United States from China. Well, that's $120 billion right there. So for my estimate to be accurate, there needs to be another 130 billion. And believe me, that's it's doable. So they're going to lose half their business. Everybody in the world is pissed off at them, okay, because they've cost a lot of people a lot of money, okay. So yeah, China is going to lose a lot of business out of this, and they really screwed their allies, okay, like the globalists, those guys that were going like, hey man, let's make China, the the factory floor of the world, man, because they do it so much better and their labor is cheaper and all these other made up freaking bullshit reasons. Those people are done. Okay? So, they've been totally discredited. Um, the elites in Wall Street and Washington that backed all this globalization stuff, they're screwed. You know, so people are mad. You know, but yeah. So if the Chinese thought that they were going to get some sort of concession, I don't know what they thought they were going to get that would be worth all this. All I see is downside for them. But you know, it's not all bad. I think there's going to be a lot of positive things that come out of this whole Corona thing. Because I'll tell you what, and I'm not the only one that thinks this. I think that things are going to be completely different when the smoke settles on this whole epidemic or pandemic or whatever you want to call it. Okay, I think we're going to see something happen with the healthcare. Hey, kitty, kitty. You know, I think everybody realizes now that we got to do something with the healthcare, and I think everybody's starting to realize that our social safety net is completely inadequate for situations like that. So that's going to be modified. You know, it was really easy to say, hey, we need to cut, you know, welfare and this benefit or that benefit because the slackers and the layabouts are taking advantage of us. Okay, but now you've got like, you know, tens of millions of hardworking Americans that have never, you know, had to rely on the social safety net before that are now realizing that, hey, you know, I can't survive on freaking this. This is sad. Okay, so you got that. I think that people are going to have a real epiphany about, you know, what matters in their lives. You know, that's what happens when people, you know, smell death. They have a tendency to change their priorities, right? I think things might slow down a little bit. Let's see, what's going on? What are we growing over here? Oh, we got some carrots, I see. I see a lot more telecommuting going on. That'll be awesome. You know, we don't all have to drive into work. Yeah. And I see a much more active federal government in our society. Because, I mean, for the last 40 years, we really haven't done anything big. Because the people on Wall Street were convinced that we had to cut back, right? Because of deficits, which is, you know, just made up crap. We can print as much money as we want. Okay, we haven't had inflation in over 30 years, and believe we need some inflation since you know, since Wall Street isn't going to allow us to do anything with the student loans. Then the only way to reduce the burden then is let's kick up inflation a little notch, a notch or two, huh? And we'll take care of the debt that way. Okay. So yeah. So there you go. Just to review, I do not think that this is any kind of a biological weapon or attack. If it was a pretty lame attack. And I think that the information out there about this having escaped from a civilian lab run by idiots is actually accurate. And I think that when the dust settles, we'll be better country for it. Anyway, that's it. Enjoy your day. Stay safe. Find something fun to do. And talk to you guys later.